Hello and welcome to Las Vegas to the 6th edition of the Infrastructure Summit by Structure Research. Joining me now on the sidelines of the event is none other than Philbert Shih, the founder of Structure Research. Phil, it's 6th edition. It's not 6 years because there was a COVID interregnum in the middle, but 6th edition. How are you feeling now that it's in the end?
Relieved. Yeah. It's been a long ride.
Yeah, but look, this is your biggest one. You've had about 700 people, more than 700 people registered for this event. How has the event evolved from last year? Because this was a huge jump from last year. What's changed?
I think a few things. I think, as with anything, there's a lot of factors involved. I think just the reputation of the event, the awareness of the event has helped drive more participation, and you can't discount the growth in the sector. We're benefiting off that. There are tailwinds with the growth in the space, interest in the space, and that ended up adding up to a lot more interest, a lot more registration, and I would say maybe on top of that as well, I think there has been, and a little biased from my side, is an interest in information, getting information, market share data, perspectives, insights, and that's kind of what our event is built on.
Yeah.
That's what we specialize in, and hopefully people have come because they want to hear that.
Yeah. Well, here's to the big four next year to 1,000 attendees. You probably don't want that headache, but
yeah. I like incremental growth.
Yeah. But look, so one thing I really liked about the conference is the theme of the conference, concurrence. So two or more things happening at the same time. Right now, this sector is going through its concurrence age. It's AI demand, supply chain issues, energy, policy, regulation. Wherever you look, there's something happened, and something happened in an ecosystem of a lot of change. There's a whole new sector being created within the sector right in front of our eyes. If you had to pick up a few of these trends, events, what would you say are going to be the ones that are going to really drive the growth and development of data centers in the next 12, 24 months?
Yeah, concurrence, I've always thought that the sector has a lot of different moving parts. I would say the difference between when I started covering the space as a research analyst and now is that there are more moving parts, and it's just getting increasingly complex. And so, just to highlight a few of the things we're seeing, I mean, it's an environment, kind of how I came up with the theme is, you're in an environment where growth is accelerating, where new technology is being deployed that is just not a fit for kind of the architectures, the technology that currently exists, and you have a situation where, okay, let's build for that, but now in many parts of the world you're coming up against energy constraints, right? And then the network capacity isn't built out enough to support the workloads. Throw in the mix geopolitical headwinds, supply chain constraints, unpredictable delivery timelines for GPUs. You throw all that together and you get a pretty
concurrence.
you get concurrence, but or you could say a bit of a mess. But but in the chaos comes
opportunity.
Opportunity, and I think it brings out the skill sets that are present here across the board: operations, technology, investment, financing, credit, everything.
Well, I was going to ask about investment, because we'll go through some of the topics of the agenda, but from an investment perspective, finance investment perspective, capital formation, allocation, structure, what have you heard here that's been quite an eye-opener, something that's different, something that's changing that you kind of grasped from what you heard here, both on stage and off stage?
I mean, probably something you've heard in other environments, but again, it's just the volume, right? You talk about megawatts, you talk about the amount of capacity that you need to support the demand to provide the infrastructure that's being built. All that costs money, and so in many cases, the energy costs are going up. The chips are much more expensive than before, and of course just the design, the architecture, everything has become more complex, and that of course incurs resources and costs and eventually costs money. So just putting that all together is extremely difficult, and it's, I would argue, created market segments of their own. So I think one of the most interesting sessions was talking about how master planning or pre-development is taking kind of the early stage process of what data center operators used to do from A to Z, front to end, are now handing that off to other companies that are supported by more patient capital. So I think that's just a snapshot of what's coming, that people have to get increasingly specialized based on the capital requirements, not just the volume, but kind of like the gymnastics that are involved around that. And we're now talking about securing less than AAA credit worthy tenants. That's not to say they're not credit worthy. It just means that there's a different structure, financial capital structure, and the raising to get there. So.
I think another very interesting choice that Structure Research did when putting the program together was how early in the program nuclear came into the conversation. Nuclear was the second panel of this edition. So the first panel is always given to the biggest speakers. That's for every conference, which means basically your first real panel was nuclear power. Why did you put nuclear so early on in the program? What's changing, especially in the US, from a US context?
I went from concurrence to constraints being one of the biggest one, and then constraints, how do you deal with it? So how do you deal with it? What is, what is maybe the magic bullet? A lot of people talk about nuclear, and nuclear also is the most, I think, mysterious, the one that people don't truly understand. And at an event that we pride ourselves in facilitating, very deep discussions and driving a lot of insights, we felt nuclear was the one with the least, amount of knowledge, and so we tried to bring the best speakers that are knowledgeable about it and drill into that. I think I would add on top of that, the difference between last year and this year is that alongside the nuclear expert that was on stage were two operating companies that have have agreements in place to move forward with nuclear. Of course, these timelines are a little further out, but I thought the use case is already being formed, and the companies on stage, Equinix and Switch, are not insignificant. So
and then from the conversations here, the program here, what are the topics that you're kind of already imagining for next year that you're going to really have to include in the program? Maybe something that didn't make it to the program this year that next year is going to be crucial to be part of the conversation?
Yeah, I think next year you'll probably see more on the neoclouds. We hope that's a developing part of the audience here. We
had a few
more,
around.
we had
a few of them.
More than ever before, and we hope to double that maybe next year. And so I think you'll see more from them. You'll probably see more on energy as well. And I think a popular one, definitely, I think maybe we didn't address as much as we will, is capital formation and just how that's changing. We find more overlap between hyperscale procurement groups, not just data center capacity and connectivity and network, but capital. So it's getting, more, again, so many moving parts.
So, and talking about 2026, what's the plan for 2026? Date, place, any new changes? Talk us through what the logistics plan is for 2026.
Really no change. We're coming back to Win. Everybody loves Win.
It's a good choice.
The dates are similar, but we're moving up a week, October 7 to 8, 2026. Also a Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be here in Las Vegas.
And then from a structural research perspective, I'm going to let you go very soon. You guys have grown a lot. You've had a lot of hires this year. You've expanded your coverage of the markets. What's 2026 looking like for you? So next year when you come here, how many new staff you're going to have? How many new markets you're going to be covering? Just talk us through the business.
In terms of on the research side, I mean, we're very careful. It's about how we hire. We're very strategic about it. If you see our team, you know that it's very geographically dispersed, and that's by choice, so that we can cover more markets around the world. I would say our newest analyst this year, she's based in Dubai. She's helping us with India and the Middle East. We've coined the IMEA.
All we need is more.
Of course, we need more. But I think you'll see even more geographic scope. That is not just a function of us spending time on it, but also the market's development. I think that, especially with this AI stuff, GPUs, neoclouds, that it's really just scratching the surface in other parts of the world. Next year, I expect it'll be a bigger part of the conversation, the way we made I would argue we were really good at making the hyperscale cloud conversation global. So we hope to do the same.
Interesting. Well, Philbert Shih, founder of Structure Research, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for having us over. We look forward to coming back next year and build this even bigger with you. Maybe not 1,000 delegates, maybe we just do 800, but anyway, we'll still come and help you grow the business, and I've been very thankful for you as well for your support over the years.
I look forward to seeing your events.
Well, no pressure there. As for your home, thank you for watching, and do check our website and social media for the latest digital infrastructure news from across the globe. At the Tech Capital you lead, we report. Bye for now.